Hey guys, hope you're having a beautiful day. I'm Liliya from the Luxy Hair team, and today I thought I would sit down and chat with you guys about a hair struggle that I've been dealing with for as long as I can remember, and that is hair tangling. I know all of us have different hair types, so if you don't experience tangled hair, you are so blessed. You can skip this video. For those of you who can relate, I really think that you guys will find this video helpful. I have learned to accept my tangled hair, and I have gathered some tips and tricks for you guys to minimize the problem because, spoiler alert, you cannot get rid of tangles forever, but there are some things that you can do to minimize the damage and sort of the frustrations that come with tangled hair. So I'll split this video in 3 parts. First, I'll talk about why does hair tangle in the first place, and the second part, I'll talk about some ways of how to prevent your hair from tangling, and the third part, I'll just show you guys how I detangle my hair that I found that works best for me, and I hope you like the technique. What I'll also do is I'll leave the timestamps for all those 3 parts below, so if you guys are interested to skip on over right there, then you can go ahead and do that. Well, let's get right into it. Why does my hair tangle? So there could be a few reasons. The first is your hair type. If you have really thick and really curly hair, your hair is more prone to tangling, or if you have hair like mine, I have a bunch of hair, but the actual hair strands are very, very thin and they're very fine. If you have very fine hair and thin hair strands, your hair is more prone to tangling. It is what it is. Another reason why your hair may be tangling is because it's dry. It's lacking the moisture, and as a result, there is more friction between the hair strands and it tangles more. Another reason is maybe if you sleep with your hair down, the friction between the pillow and when you toss and turn just causes the hair to tangle more. Or if you get out of the shower and use a really thick towel to sort of dry your hair, that kind of friction can cause your hair to tangle as well. Okay, but regardless of the reason why your hair tangles, it doesn't really change the fact that it's super, super annoying. So let's get into some ways of how you can minimize the hair tangling. So first and foremost is to condition your hair and keep it hydrated and moisturized. So obviously never skip out on conditioner after you shampoo, but also do a hair mask if you don't already do that. One of my favorites is coconut oil, or if you mix coconut oil with honey and leave it on for minimum 30 minutes, you will feel the difference. Your hair will be restored, not after one time obviously, but over time if you consistently keep nourishing your hair with moisture, it will thank you and it will tangle less. The next one is one you probably hear all the time, and for good reason, is to minimize the use of hot tools because that really damages your hair and it makes it a lot more dry, which leads to tangling. So if you tend to blow dry your hair a lot or curl it or straighten it all the time, just see if you can do that a little bit less, and if you still need to continue to do that, make sure that you always use heat protectant before you do so. Another thing I started doing is braiding my hair before bed. You can either do loose braids and tie them up with scrunchies and not those little elastics that rip your hair out, or you can put it in a loose bun, whatever works for you. I used to go to bed with my hair down all the time, and I would just wake up with like 10 rat's nests in my hair, and it's just not the best way to spend the morning. Since I started braiding my hair before bed, I noticed significantly less tangling. The next thing is so simple, but for some reason I just never used to do it before, and that is to consistently brush my hair throughout the day. I used to just leave the house and then come home with this huge rat's nest, especially in the back of my neck. I guess there's a little bit more friction there throughout the day, and I would just almost cry every time I had to detangle it. But now that I brush my hair multiple times a day, I notice there's much less tangling throughout the day, obviously. Another tip I learned that I started doing is after the shower, crank the water to the coldest that you can and rinse your hair with cold water. What this does is that it helps to seal the shaft of the hair, and that way there is less friction between the hair strands and it tends to tangle less. And one last thing here, guys, please brush your hair completely before you hop into the shower. I'm guilty of doing this before. I used to get really frustrated or just really lazy, to be honest, and I would hop into the shower with all my tangles and it just wasn't pretty. When you try to detangle your hair while it's wet, it's actually more damaging to your hair. So just take some time to detangle your hair before you go into the shower. Your hair will thank you. So that's it, guys. Pretty simple. I really wish I had a magic formula for you on how to get rid of tangles forever, but it doesn't exist unless you guys know something I don't, then let me know in the comments below. But I've honestly used so many hair products that claim to detangle hair, and none of them have worked for me personally so far. So I learned at the end of the day, it's about the things that you do daily to prevent your hair from tangling, and overall how well you take care of your hair, if you are providing it with the nutrients that you need, if you're using natural and organic products that it deserves, and that's pretty much it. Okay guys, so now I'm going to show you how I detangle my hair. So the first thing I do is actually split my hair into manageable sections. That way I get a little bit less frustrated and I'm just making sure that I'm not missing any tangles.
So after I've separated my hair into sections, the next thing I do is go into the tangle and start separating as much as I can with my fingers. I find this method very gentle and it preps me for the next step for when I bring in the brush. After that, I recommend taking either a wide tooth comb or a soft bristle brush just like this one. You see how the bristles are very flexible, and then to gently start brushing out the tangle from bottom to top. Resist the urge to brush from top to bottom. It will rip the hair out of your scalp and it's just gonna hurt and damage your hair. There's no need for that. Just be gentle and brush from bottom up. Do this with each section and at the end you will end up with beautiful tangle-free hair.
So that's pretty much it guys. I really hope that you liked and enjoyed this video. Please be sure to share it with your friends who also can relate to tangled hair. If you guys have any tips or tricks to share with me on how you deal with your tangled hair, please be sure to leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, be sure to subscribe to our Luxy Hair YouTube channel, like this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!